Hey there, everybody. My name is Jerry. I am from North London, our North London location. And welcome. This is us. This season took everyone by surprise, and one of the many people that have been impacted are the owners and entrepreneurs of small businesses. Today, we're going to hear from how one amazing person in our church wasn't only able to survive, but thrive in a time when her entire industry came to a standstill. There is such power in community and relationship, and we, as the church, are called to support and rally around one another when times get tough. But as you'll find out, community isn't just about us. We all have other people in our day-to-day world that we are connected to outside of our church. So it's our relationships and love for one another that speaks volumes to them. So this person you're about to meet is normally behind the camera and drawing out other stories. But today, I reckon you're going to be blessed to hear her story. So check this out.
What's your name and what do you do?
Okay. I'm Hajie and I'm a photographer. I think a photo for me is the opportunity to capture a bond between people. I get excited about the challenge of making that bond tangible and last. Hey! Yeah, stunning. So we specialise in destination weddings, so typically do anything between 30 and 50 weddings a year, so that's most weekends. With Corona, weddings aren't really happening. However, it's just been a really fun opportunity to rise to the challenge and to be innovative and to find a niche where I can still photograph and people can still have memories. As a freelancer, part of the deal is you're required to kind of rise to the challenge and hustle a bit. I was really motivated about people having a positive memory from spending so much time together as a family and memories at home. Initially, when I had the idea, I put the feelers out with my Connect group and I said, would you guys be up for getting dressed and coming to the door so that I could grab a quick photo of you guys? I promise it won't take long and we'll make it fun. And everybody in the Connect group said yes, and just through that particular foundation, the Doorstep project launched. It's just the opportunity for a household just to come to their door and to be photographed, various different combinations, and hopefully they have a positive memory from lockdown. I've actually really appreciated the creative challenge to think differently, and with Doorstep Portraits, it's quite a small space in which to navigate socially distancing, building rapport and being creative, different weather and different lights and getting your head around who is in each household and to communicate the personality of what's behind the door. I initially launched it just in London, but then I had inquiries from all over the UK, so I was able to cluster them together and then have a day in Oxford or Portsmouth or whatever. And I ended up being able to do a few hundred, which still blows me away. It's quite different not to be travelling long haul monthly in the summer. However, Doorstep Portraits was it really gave me like a spring in my step because I felt like I had purpose and I was grateful to be here instead of remorseful that I was not where I thought I was going to be. I just love that, we're never going to stop learning and God's timing is perfect and you have to surrender, I think, because we're not in control and we will never be in control. That's it. That's all that needs to be. Like, has He ever let us down? No. So then all we have to do is just look back. Like, there's no point in stressing and there's no point being fearful and there's no point in thinking that it's up to us because we can't do anything in our own strength. And it's maybe not what we had envisioned or when or where. However, we've got to rest in the fact that God's never not provided for me. So that's not going to stop now. I think the thing I love the most about my job is that I've been able to document joy in people's lives. And though the weddings weren't happening, It didn't mean to say that joy wasn't still around. It existed, but I just had to go to where it was, and that's in people's homes and I guess in people's hearts.
One of the biggest transitions in someone's life is to move out of home, often to a completely different city, to study. At the best of times, this move, while starting university can be exciting and full of possibilities, it can also be a time when a person's faith is tested and the challenge of starting a new life can feel lonely and daunting. Psalms 68 and verse 6 says, God sets the lonely in families. So we can all play a part in making room for people who are new and embracing them into the family of God.
Hey church, my name is Benitho and I am the university student pastor based in London. And as many of us know, this is usually the time when students go back to university to study. So today we're going to highlight some stories across the UK from people within the life of our church.
Okay, I'm ready to go. My name's John Cook. I am the pastor here at our Newcastle campus. Last week was a really emotional week because my eldest daughter went to uni. We helped her get settled into her university flat, and I'm not saying how many tears there were, but there was a lot of tears, a lot of sobbing. That was mainly from me, I've got to admit. Watching her there, saying goodbye. She was feeling a bit homesick. We were feeling the loss in her life. But then the next day, she gets a telephone call from Track and Trace saying that she had to self-isolate. Can you imagine that? And so for us as parents, that was an added worry. You know, as a parent, as we send our kids off to uni, we have all of this stuff going on in our head. Have I been a good enough parent? Have I set them up well for life, for being a student? And I think as a pastor and as a parent, I want to know that my child has the opportunity to engage with church. And so as a church, I think we have a bit of a responsibility. As a pastor, I have a responsibility to help our young people get settled, not just into university life, but into a great church. As a dad, that's what I want to say. I want the opportunity for my girl to get involved in church, in university.
The UK currently has 3 million students who are studying in university and thousands locked in lockdown. And in the middle of a pandemic, we still have students finding connection within the life of our church.
I mean, I had like expectations, but then everything changed.
Because you're starting uni during a whole pandemic, so it's completely different.
Mad. When you
Get
think
your
about
freedom,
it.
but only slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember like walking around campus at like 3 a.m. and it would be the busiest time.
Yeah.
But now, if you're here at 3 a.m., you're the only one out because
Yeah.
everything's closed and everyone's indoors. And
It's weird because like it's so quiet on campus, and you'd expect it in Fresh Street to be like buzzing. And I think right now it's so much harder to find people because it's harder to connect with people because obviously you have to social distance or wear masks and lectures and stuff, and that's when you would mix with people.
I've got flatmates that I think I've moved in, but I haven't seen them yet because they're just kind of like sticking in their room. And you try to connect to them, but it must be quite lonely.
yeah,
Definitely.
I think initially I can imagine like more than ever, it's more on the freshers as well to take that step out.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard for us to reach you guys.
As a fresher, I think joining a group like as soon as you can is really important to find that sort of community that's similar to you and like they're in the same paths, and I think it's really key.
Throughout lockdown, although like face-to-face it wasn't an option and that would be the ideal situation, having the kind of like that Zoom every Thursday, it was definitely the highlight of our week because it was meeting the same people, same interests, same kind of like hobbies, same goal, and we just got to kind of chat, keep accountable and have a good time really. And that was really, for me, like the driver through lockdown that kind of kept me going because I knew every Thursday it was the constant because there was so many unconstants during the time. It was every Thursday, I know people are going to be there, we can have a talk, no matter what it is, and we can just get to know each other deeper, I guess, and it was really good fun.
Me and the other Thursday group leader are always on it. Every time Michael missed one, we'd always be messaging
It did happen.
chasing up on him, like, where have you been? I think it just really helps to sort of keep accountable.
Only a few times. And
have people that are sort of are checking up on you, because I think it also just shows that
it shows
you care and you're part of like a community. Often you have to take that step out and connect with something, because it's often hard for them to find you in a university of 15,000 people. So you just got to be brave and sort of take that step.
For me, like joining a group, it's kind of like more of like a homely feel. instead of, because again, like you build that relationship. Of course, it's not quite like your family relationship, but like it's very close. You do get to know people at that level, and it just makes uni feel more like your home rather than just a place you stay for a few months. It's deeper than just your casual friendship you get during like your first and second year. You really get to know the person in your group, and you get to kind of like walk that journey with them, and they like help you when you're struggling and you help them, kind of thing.
The cool thing about joining church, and when I joined team, there was older people there as well, and it was great to have them because there were so many times where I had like questions that I wanted to ask, or I was going through something. Because they were older, they could sort of advise on that in a way that my maybe group friends and group leaders couldn't. So yeah, I think it's really important to be part of like a diverse church with so many different ages, because there's so much like wisdom and knowledge to like draw on when you've got that around you. Team leaders invited me around for dinner all the time, and I was able to ask them and chat with them, and it was nice to have actually nice food for once rather than just like plain pasta with like some, which was great. When you like join a new place, it's so easy to feel lonely if you don't meet people. Like you can be in a big place with loads of people, but if you can still feel alone. And I think it's just so important to have your community around you that can encourage you and sort of do life with you.
If you're a university student based in the UK, why don't you head to the website, send us a message, and we would love to get in contact with you. We have university groups, university events, and we would love for you to find community near you.
That was so inspiring to hear about how we, working together as the church, can really make a difference in someone's life. You know, church as we know it today may look a little different, but there are still loads of ways that you and I can get connected and how we can get to know other people in the life of our church. The very best way to do that and how we can get connected is in groups. Yes, groups. You ask the question, what is groups? Well, groups is simply a way of gathering people from our church who meet regularly and will meet to chat, to pray, and just do life together. Most groups right now are running online, so it's even easier to find one that works for you, all right? How you can find out and get to know that group near you is simply head to our website, and if you can just tap in hillsong.co.uk/groups, hillsong.co.uk/groups, you'll find one close by you. Or even easier, you can just grab your phone right now and you can text group to 70177. Group at 70177. All right, well, we love you, church. You have a blessed week, and we'll see you soon. Take care.